I started realizing when I was doing things that I would normally do, mountain biking was one of them. I was an avid mountain biker and I was quite competitive, racing all the big events. And all of a sudden, I couldn't finish one race. Every time I was busy racing, I'd have to phone my dad and ask him to come and collect me halfway through my race. And this kind of continued every Saturday. And that's when I started realizing something is not okay. When I couldn't really do day-to-day things that I was participating in. Another thing was blow drying my hair. I couldn't lift my arms up, and that's when I knew something wasn't okay. Throughout my 8 years of struggling with this disease, which I didn't know I had, it was really difficult to put in words to people, that I'm not really mentally ill, that I'm really sick, and I have a disease. When I finally received my diagnosis in South Africa, it was still called ankylosing spondylitis. I was so happy. I remember phoning everybody and saying, "You won't believe it. I've got ankylosing spondylitis." Finally, I could almost say to people I'm not mad and I'm okay, and that I've got a disease and I've got a name and it's got weight. So 8 years of me complaining came to me getting this diagnosis, and that there was a huge relief in that. And there was a huge relief, I think, for my friends and family as well, to know that now at least we know what we're dealing with and we can get on with it. I think I feel horrified now looking back at 8 years, thinking that if I was diagnosed within that first year of knowing what was going on, the outcome for me could have been a lot different, because if you're diagnosed early with axSpA and they start treating you quite vigorously, the chances of you going into remission is can be better. Your outcome could be better. I'm not sure if you could call it remission. So I do look back thinking, geez, if we didn't waste 8 years. And, it's 8 years of lying flat on my back, 8 years of not riding my bike, 8 years of emotionally being a mess, 8 years of checking out of my life socially. I don't know how many times you're invited somewhere and at the last minute you say you're not going to be there. It's easier for me to be at home and be in my bed than be out. So each and every single time I've missed out on something in 8 years. That is a shame. 8 years is a long time to not know what's going on. And I think it's frightening, not only for yourself, but people around you to witness that they can see something is going on. I had 2 small kids in the house. I think for them to see me lying on my back, being unable to even take my shoes off. If you call your 6-year-old to the bed and ask him to take his shoes off because mommy can't, that's quite frightening for them as well. I think it took a long time after after my actual diagnosis to get rid of the emotional burden that I was carrying for 8 years, to get my head around that. Being part of this delayed diagnosis campaign gives me goosebumps, because I am a walking delayed diagnosis example, and it touched me. It's almost like my wind was kicked out when it happened to me, and only really afterwards did I realize the effect it had. And being part of this effort globally, creating awareness and really being vulnerable, talking about my story, I'm proud to be able to do that. If this information could make any difference to anybody's lives, this would be really a happy ending to my story.